Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about and show you my personal memorial for my two dogs that have transitioned and are now in spirit. They're in heaven. And I wanted to talk to you about them and also to show you how I set up my own memorial or altar for my two dogs. And I just thought that would be a nice video if anyone was looking for ideas or even the permission to have that memorial for your pet or your altar, whichever you would like to call it. That permission to even have that in your home, and how special and how healing having a dedicated space to your animals, and just how healing that is, and how much it has helped me, just even knowing that this is here and it has some, personal things about each of my two dogs. So my two dogs, which I will show you a picture of them, that also will be going on this altar or memorial, and I'll show that to you now. And so this is, on the right is Sophie, and on the left is Stella. Sophie transitioned this past June, so we'll be coming up on a year. She passed on June 25th, 2024. And Stella, she passed a couple months ago on January 6th, 2025. So it wasn't too long in between both of their transitions. And I wasn't too surprised. These girls were very close, very much kindred spirits. They just really loved each other. They were so important to each other, and they relied on each other. So, and I feel like their connection goes, beyond this lifetime. So I wasn't too surprised with Stella transitioning just a little over 6 months after Sophie transitioned. She was heartbroken without her. So these are the two girls, and I will be using this setup. And this is a tier, like a tier tower that I had actually got at the store at home, and it's like multi-layered tiers. I'll try and show you. So there's a bottom one down here, this lower one, and then it has this shelf, and then it has these two shelves above, and then one above here, and it kind of looks like that. And very inexpensive. This whole thing folds. So I just love the look of it. Again, the easy setup. It was nothing to put together. So it was something that I really, really liked. I didn't get it with the intention of doing a memorial. I had gotten it just to put some of my metaphysical things on, and just to kind of, keep my room nice and peaceful. But then when both of the girls had passed, I had thought this was actually a perfect space to set up their altar or memorial. So some of the things that I keep on my altar or memorial for them, again, whichever one you like to call it, I like to kind of lean towards the altar. I feel like that's just more, to me, that's just more of a sacred space. But you can really call it whatever feels good to you. So what I keep on my altar, I do have an angel. And this angel is a battery operated angel. It's on a timer. So it's 6 hours on, and I believe it's 18 hours off. The battery is phenomenal. Lasts, I would say, almost 2 months. That's what obviously coming on every single day. It has a beautiful, nice white light. And I actually got this on Amazon, and I just really searched Amazon by looking up angel candle, and it actually comes in a set of 3. So it has this tall angel and then the same thing, but they're just a little bit smaller, which I had shared the 2 smaller angels with my sisters. So we all have something to do, their own type of memorial or altar for our dogs. And all of us, we were close to Sophie and Stella. And so I'll show you how that actually lights up. It is on the timer now, but that's okay for me to switch it. So it lights up like that. And again, just something very simple and peaceful. And then on the angel, I do have both of their collars. So both Sophie and Stella, they transitioned at home. So I was able to have the vet come and have that help them transition at home, where they loved their home. They were so peaceful here. I was peaceful here, so their transitions were so peaceful. It was so blessed. But this is Stella's collar, and then this is Sophie's. And I always keep them clasped. But for me, when I'm setting up, or even like cleaning, like dusting, what I like to do is really make this a special time of connection with them. So I always open their collars and close them back up when I'm cleaning their altar space, because I just feel that, again, it's a way for me to really connect to them and kind of bring them right into this space with me. So again, when I clean their altar, it's a special time for me. It's a special time to connect, to think about them and all the great, fun memories I have of them. And it just reminds me of the beautiful life they had and the beautiful life that they also gave me. They enriched mine so much. So I typically put their collars over the angel. Something like that. And then I also include their favorite toys. Sophie and Stella, they were smaller animals. So Sophie, she was, I'll just put their pictures back up for you. Sophie was so she is the dog on the right. No, on the left. She's this one. So Sophie was a Yorkie Poo, and then Stella, she was a Shih Poo. So they were on the smaller side. They were like maybe like 10, 15 pounds, so smaller dogs. So they loved smaller dog toys, but they really loved cat toys, like the little mice, little balls. Like they just absolutely adored cat toys. Even the when they were babies, they were puppies, they loved the cat toys that came on the string, and the that you would just like kind of like toss, like play around with the cat. As puppies, they they loved it. So when they each transitioned, I saved one of their favorite toys each. And again, they had a bunch of favorites, but for the purpose of my own memorial space or my altar space, I just chose one thing each, like their truly utmost favorite that they always would choose over any other favorite toy. That's what I decided to keep. So Stella, she fell in love with, again, it's a cat toy, and like you can kind of hear whatever's in these cat toys. And she wouldn't like destroy them. She would just carry them around in her mouth, toss them up in the air. But she loved this black mouse. So I chose to keep that. So I will keep that on her side. And so I just chose to designate sides for them. So this would be Stella's, and then this would be Sophie's side. Sophie also loved a cat toy. These were a little bit harder to find. I found that PetSmart, Petco, Benson's, it was a hit or miss of having them. I really found them on Amazon, and as you can see, like when you tap it, it made a noise. She loved this thing. Stella loved it too. They both would play with it, but Sophie and I actually called this toy for her was Beep Beep, because it made a beeping, like a kind of a beeping sound. And she knew the name. Like she would, if you just tapped it like that, she could be in another room and she would come running. So she, like this toy, when I look at this, I see Sophie. Same with Stella's black mouse. When I see them, I just think of each of them. So I will keep that toy on Sophie's side. And then I also do keep their photos. And actually, I'm just gonna, because Sophie had she was a little bit bigger than Stella. So I'm just gonna put her collar down because it just lays a little bit more down on the angel. And then I'll put Stella's. There. And then, so I do keep that photo like that as well. So again, like this is Sophie. So that's like kind of her side. And then this is Stella. So that's kind of her side. And then the next thing I have is when both of them on their transition days. So when we had the mobile vet come to our home before the vet left with the body, they gave us each a black stone with their names on it. And I think that's a pretty typical thing that the home euthanasia veterinarians do. Kind of looks like that, again, that little token of just something to hold, to keep, a keepsaver. So then I also will put, so this is Stella's stone. And again, the veterinarian that came to the home made that stone. And then, so I will keep that on Stella's side. And then Sophie's too, before her veterinarian left, she also made that stone for Sophie when Sophie transitioned. And then the next couple of things are just, again, just some things to, I feel, just kind of enhance healing for all three of us. So I do have a selenite wand. Selenite is very good. It's a beautiful healing, cleansing crystal that I think is just, I believe it's very appropriate to put on their altars. And I also, so that is a selenite wand. Then I just have a thicker selenite bar that I will put other stones on. I also have this praying hands that, again, just in a prayerful pose, just to, I connect with the healing hand. So I just wanted something to put that on their altar. And I'll put that over here. And, you know, as I do these, you know, sometimes I'll change it around. So it's kind of, when I reset it back up after like dusting and cleaning, I might put things in a different way, just depending on how I feel. And then I have some lapis lazuli. This is actually my favorite stone. It's a a stone that really represents wisdom. It's really like a God stone or a source stone. Again, I thought it was most fitting to put that in this on this altar. So I put that on top of the selenite. I also have an amethyst stone. Again, it's that beautiful purple. Again, like this comes with a lot of healing too. It takes away anxiety and worry, and it's very calming. So I also think it is very fitting for my altar for both of the girls too, of a stone like that. And then I also have this angel. I think I got this at kind of like a metaphysical store. But again, Sophie and Stella, they really truly are my two angels. So I really couldn't have enough angels. So that, again, I thought that was also fitting to put on their altar. I also have holy water. Someone had given this to me quite so many years ago. It is actually from Lourdes, France. Again, it's from that like river or rocky area in Lourdes where this Saint Bernadette had apparitions of Mary, the Blessed Mother, and those waters had become healing, and still are. So, and many you can, I think, find this at like religious catalogs or shops where they collect that, and they call it Lourdes water. And again, I just thought another symbolism of blessings and just connection to God, to put this on their altar. Usually I'll put that. Maybe I could actually put that right here. And then next to the last thing I had gotten some colored baby's breath, which I had dried and I put into this vase. So again, you can do fresh flowers, or you can dry your own like I have here. There's so many, you can get a plant that maybe has beautiful blooms. There's so many things that you can do in setting up your altar and memorial for your pet. Or you don't even have to have any flowers. It's really whatever you have. I know people who grow their own flowers and put that there, or had grown maybe outdoors, did like a rose bush, or something where even tulips, right, or daffodils, that come back every year. I mean, you can even grow those in honor of your pet, and then cut them and put them in a vase and use them for your altar too. So again, there's so many different ways of doing this. It truly is up to you of how you would like to decorate your altar. And then I also have just a little cup, and inside here is, this is a dried rose, but inside here is also dried lavender. Kind of see that better. Lavender is very peaceful, very calming, the scent of it. So I decided just a little bowl of lavender. And again, I had this rose that I had dried, and I just liked it. So I wanted to put this on the altar for their things to memorialize them by. And I also add in this, Sophie had gotten quite a number of years ago. She had gone to her vet for just a checkup, and they were handing out like little, she used to go to UVS, which is kind of like a chain vet. Um, and they had given her a star. Just I would dress the girls in like little dresses and outfits, and they thought that her outfit had looked so good that day they gave her a little star. So I had saved that. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna put that on her memorial, um, to include that there. Again, just another reminder for me and of just a good times with Sophie. And I also do keep some of their cards that I got. And the cards come from a lot of different places, whether it was from their vet. Chewy even sent me one, the veterinarian, the euthanasia mobile. They sent me cards for both girls, some friends and family. So I decided to keep them because again, when I read them, it's touching to know how much others loved your animals, how important that your animals were to other people. And also, as you get, if you have a chance to get close to your vet, and the nurses and the techs, they care too. They care deeply about their patients. So it's not, again, just that connection, just that, like, I guess just that energy of love that never dies either. So that's why I wanted to keep these things as well. So I put that there. And then I also had done kind of like an affirmation book. And this was for both girls. So Sophie, who passed first, she's on this side of the page, and then Stella, who passed second, is on this side of the page in the same book. And I would do affirmations, and I did for the same, for both of them. So, and I would do it, I filled the whole book, and right after, like maybe 2 days after both of them passed, I started their pages, their book. And, I would do affirmations saying, and I'm just going to read you from it, that I used for both girls. So Sophie is peaceful. Sophie knows and experiences God's unconditional love for her. Sophie is learning and growing. Sophie is evolving. Sophie is open to new ideas and ways of looking at her world. Sophie knows and feels my love and gratitude for her. I forgive Sophie, and Sophie forgives me. Sophie is evolving to be human. I am grateful for Sophie's lifetime with me. I am grateful for the love and lessons Sophie has given me. And I love you, Sophie Ann. So I did that again for, I was reading a lot on the Bardo, which I believe is the Hindu thoughts of when your animal dies. But I just went a little further. I think it's like 740 something days. I'm not too sure. I apologize to that. But I thought it was just a beautiful thing to do for both girls. So I do also keep this book on their altar as well. So yes, this is their altar. And again, I use the time to clean and dust it just as a way to, touch everything again. Like sometimes I'll even go through the cards. I'll read their book, just touching their little toys that I have, their picture. So it's something that, again, I just love to do. And I love, seeing the candle every day go on. And again, it's just a reminder for me that they're still here with me. They're just in a different form. I can't see them with my physical eyes, I can see them with my heart eyes. So again, this was just a little video of even just some inspirations, or again, even letting you know to give yourself that permission to even have a memorial or an altar for your pets. And it can look like however you want it to be. It could be as small, something like mine. Mine is relatively small, or it could be elaborate and large, especially if you want to hold on to some of the things that you connect with them, whether it be toys, collars, bowls, lots of things, or maybe their favorite bed or pillow. Again, you can, and it doesn't all have to be in one place. You can have, different areas in your home. You could have something of them in every room. So it's okay to do that, and it's healing to do that. It's. I look at my altar as another way to take care of them. So it is very peaceful, and I hope that you find peace and healing in setting up your own altar or memorial, however that looks like to you. It will be the most loving and peaceful thing that you can do for not only your animal in honoring and remembering them, but also for yourself, because it's a hard thing to go through. And this makes that experience a little bit softer, a little bit more gentler. Thank you for watching this video. God bless.